Armoretta, please. Oh, yo, welcome to Philly Uncensored Sports Podcast. We here in the building after a little while. I think our last pod
Go
we
ahead,
talked
go
about.
ahead, get your sip. Go sip your iced tea.
Yeah. You see, about to get my sip a little bit. I'll grab it later on in the show. This is our first show since an exciting USA basketball finish,
No, it ain't.
where should have been. This is our last one since then, right?
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I mean, am I wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. You're right.
You're
I
right.
think this is the last show since then, since what should have been co-MVP Steph Curry and LeBron James, but Nike had a little bit to say about that, so we could discuss that if y'all want to. How a lot of people coming out saying Steph Curry should have won either MVP or at least co-MVP after the most outstanding
A lot of
gold
people.
medal. But it has been. I can show you the YouTube videos that people making saying that, but after a stellar, one of the probably greatest gold medal performance games I think we ever seen. But all that being said, the Sixers actually signed the bull who yammed, outright dunked, charge LeBron James, Guerschon, what's his last name?
Yabusele, I believe.
Yabusele. Is he African? Is that African or what's that?
Sound like it.
He probably African. Yeah, most likely.
Yeah, you know French, African. Yeah, there you go.
All right, Guerschon Yabusele. So expect him to hate on him then. But that's neither here nor there. So Sixers have signed him. So what y'all think about the signing? I personally felt it was a good. I was trolling on one of my text boards. I said once the Sixers sign him, he's gonna be garbage. You know how that goes.
No, yeah, it was our text board. Yeah, that's what I was wondering where you was about to go right now.
Okay. I must have did it on several different text boards, but according to his play in the Olympics, he was their best player. According to how he was getting down, especially they said in the medal rounds, he really
over Wemby.
They say I think he had the most points. If I'm not mistaken,
his numbers in those three in the medal games was 19.6 points per game, shooting 67% from the field.
That's what I'm saying. What was Wemby? What the Wemby score?
I don't know, but I know that's what he had.
I know, bro. I'm not taking Wemby over him.
No, we're all taking Wemby over him, but somebody can still be. Steph Curry played the best in the final in the gold game. Is Steph Curry better than LeBron?
No,
maybe.
Yeah, no, but just because somebody played better at a situation don't mean that they.
I hear you.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He was their best player numbers wise throughout according to what I heard. All right, I didn't check all the stats, so correct me if I'm wrong. But according to what I heard, he was their best player stat wise throughout the tournament. So I mean, what y'all think? Y'all think he's gonna get significant time? Is it like just a signing because he dunked on LeBron and that elevated his status, in the league? Is he going to get some significant time? Is he going to start 6-man? What's his role here? Y'all talk.
I think with this, be honest with you, he was a first round pick, 16th pick out of Boston. But in his defense, he really didn't get any playing time. He averaged like 4 minutes. So 16 for a first round pick to get no playing time is kind of odd. But when I'm looking at the roster he was on, he had Gordon Hayward was in front of him. These are the power forwards. He had Gordon Hayward in front of him. He had Jason Tatum. He had Marcus Morris. So he had Jaylen Brown. Boston already had a pretty deep team. So for him to get in the rotation was probably kind of difficult. So and to draft him at 16th, they probably seen the talent, but they really didn't have a role for him. He really didn't get that much burn in the 2 years he was there for Boston. It was 17, 18, 18, 19. So in his defense, like I said, sometimes basketball is about politics and sometimes it's about opportunity. He didn't really get an opportunity. So here with the Sixers, I think if he can get an opportunity, he might be able to make some noise. Like I was talking about these, a lot of them dudes playing the Olympics sometime, some of them probably can actually play in the NBA, but did they get the opportunity to do it? So now he's getting an opportunity. He showcased the talent. Great stage, great time to showcase the talent. Because those last couple games is probably some of the most watched games we've seen. So I guess the opportunity to showcase the talent in the NBA.
No, I agree with a lot of that. That's just like
he gets a chance to get better and try to beat the USA in a couple of years. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is low risk, high reward type chance. I mean, you give them $2 million 1 year. So you know what I'm saying? You had a roster spot. Who would you want to put? if you're telling me it's a choice between getting him and Morris, I might take the chance on him. He's 28-year-old guy, like Ethan said. He didn't really get a chance. Not and it's not saying that he's gonna come in here and all of a sudden he's gonna be, Zion and nothing like that. But you needed another rebounder. You need another big body. The boy is 6'8", 260. You know what I'm saying? You see even
nice size.
You see at that weight that he's playing, so you got
Who's
some more
Morris?
physicality in there, huh?
Who's Morris?
I don't know, but he ain't that. He's a little slender. Morris about 6'8", 6'9".
He's 6'8", 218.
Oh yeah, wow.
6'8", 218. You said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that
I
ain't
don't
260.
actually think he's 260 anymore. I think he's slimmed down. I was looking at some highlights from his Boston years. It looked like he's slimmer than that now.
Maybe that's helping him get. That's what helped him dunk on
Well,
LeBron.
maybe I'm just looking at everything they did. They talk. That's what they talking about him being 6'8", that big. But he might have slimmed down just. But
he did look a little husky though, like not husky. He looked solid.
This is what I like.
Go ahead, Tim.
This is what I like about him is the fact that he can actually counter. He's actually a real forward. Everybody else we have on our squad is like wings, but he's actually a power forward. Him and Julius Randle, he could body and bang with him, and I think he'll help out on the rebounds when it comes to him and Embiid. I don't think he had a lot of rebounds in that gold medal game, but he was feisty. He was active.
Can he shoot?
He shoots pretty well. I think he shot 41% at one point from the 3-point line. So if he can give us enough spacing, big body, bang with Julius Randle, I think this is a good, like Wayne said, is a low risk. Team making $2.1 million for 1 year. So you bring him in, he might be our future for the next 3-4 years. He might be our future power forward. He's been trying to get back in the league. He said he's not. If y'all recall on broadcast, he said he's not going to chase the NBA no more. So apparently the NBA chased him. He's here. So welcome.
Yeah, and that's my other thing about it too. Like we seen Paul Reed. Paul Reed had his opportunities. He couldn't do it. Like if Bull's sitting there, and when he got in there, if he gets in there, he's going to be hungry. You know what I'm saying? He's been out there. He showed that he was ready to step up, and that's the other thing. Like the main reason I wanted Embiid to go to the Olympics is just to get that vibe, that experience of being against some of the top performers in the world. And Bull went there and he showed out when he had some, against the United States, NBA talent, and even in some of them other teams. Canada was supposed to be the other good team. He balled out against Canada. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see because Nick Nurse, they say Nick Nurse don't play young guys too much, but the dude 28. So I don't know. Do you look at young as in experience in the NBA or just young as in youth and not understanding? So,
is this going to cut? Is he possibly going to cut into Ricky Council's time?
That's the only thing. That's the only thing I'm a little fearful of.
Absolutely.
Do you think Ricky Council? Y'all take Ricky Council as a power forward?
Yeah, Ricky Council more of a 3-and-D.
Yeah, Ricky Council more of a 2/3, like a wing player. Dude is coming on to be a power forward.
I just want.
He's gonna take Martin minutes. I mean, not KJ Martin minutes.
They ain't no power forward. He's undersized too. Do the real.
No. I agree with you. That's what I'm saying. The other guys that we talking about are like undersized power forward guys that we got. He's a legit power forward size.
Hopefully, he can get that rebound too.
In this NBA, with kind of positionless basketball, anytime somebody gets on the court, they could be taking minutes from anybody. Yeah, I mean, depending on how it go a little bit. So, if he does get significant minutes, I do think it will cut into a bull like Ricky Council's, because that's the time that, all right, you put him in for power forward, then whoever's your power forward, who will be our starting power forward?
Martin right now is KJ Martin.
Right, him.
I mean, not KJ Martin. Caleb Martin. I meant Caleb Martin.
Caleb Martin, boy, we got from Miami. He
undersized.
So now, that's what I'm saying. So now, more than likely, he'll slide to small where Ricky Council could have been at. So that's Ricky Council's minutes going there.
So who was our backup power forward before we signed him? Exactly. We was gonna have somebody like Eric Gordon playing that power. It was gonna be one of them smaller wing players playing power forward. Now you have a legit.
Ricky Council probably could have came in and got some of that. That's a small lineup. You go Ricky Council, you go Caleb Martin, you put him in there. You got B, Max.
It's gonna be if you talking about coming off the bench, you gonna have Drummond. You talking about coming off the bench. We talking about the bench players. So you talking about Drummond and whoever else that's coming off the bench with him. He's not gonna be in there with like Ricky Council. Like how often would he gonna be in there with B and stuff like that?
But I'm just saying I'm just talking about just different lineups in general. Like when somebody go out, this person come in. That could have been a time he could. And listen, I'm not mad at the Bull signing. I'm just making an obvious statement. I do think it's going to affect minutes that Ricky Council possibly could have gotten. Because
you're talking about
Oubre.
matchups, though, right? So you're talking about matchups. So if the matchups go accordingly, where Ricky Council, it may be a matchup where you need that size. Where now you put in him and Drummond to be those more physical, bigger bodies to bang around on the boards. Whereas though, now I agree with you. If it's a situation where Ricky Council is better suited for it, put Ricky Council in there.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I just think it's probably always going to be him or Oubre. You still got Oubre. Paul George plays the 3 position, so that he's going to get the bulk of the minutes at that position anyway. You know what I mean? So I just think Ricky Council just got edged further down the lineup. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's a bad move. I'm not saying that.
Or Eric Gordon and the other boy that we got was Bobby Jack. Oh, not Bobby Jack. What's the boy?
I don't know.
It might be their minutes. That's
listen. I get Ricky Council can get some minutes, but if dude better than Ricky Council, play the better person. If you can upgrade that Ricky Council position, upgrade the position.
But Ricky Council to me is how old is Ricky Council? He only what? He got to be 23.
Y'all going like y'all talking about Paul Reed, and look what happened. Look how he turned out.
No, calm down. But listen, you a hater of Paul Reed. But my whole thing is, all I'm saying is who knows what Ricky Council could be. Like everybody thought. Remember, they did the same thing. And now I'm not saying he's going to be this dude, but they did the same thing to SGA. They didn't think SGA was going to be the player that he was, and that's why they traded him off to OKC pretty much for nothing. And now the Bull is one of the best guards in the league. So all I'm saying is, I think if he gets some significant minutes, Ricky Council showed promise where he can be a legitimate scorer. Even in the G League, he was going off. Not the G League. Paul Reed, they did one G League MVP and all that. Yeah, but to me, Ricky Council's game looks a little bit more polished than
But
Paul
they
Reed.
playing two
Dude,
different
but dude's game look more polished than Ricky Council's.
But he's 28.
He also a 5.
You act like 28 is ancient.
I know.
28.
No, I'm saying compared to Ricky. I'm talking compared to Ricky Council.
I get that, but 28 is prime type years. That's like when dudes is in a prime at 28, and like Ethan said before, has this guy really got a chance? And I'm not saying this dude gonna come in and be a world beater. All I'm saying is don't just dismiss because he's 28. That
I'm not. Listen, you're not hearing. I'm talking in context. All I'm saying is he got more time to be better than Ricky. Who at 28, Ricky might be leaps and bounds better than Bull. I don't know. He might be on par with him right now. I don't. That's what I'm saying. Like I did want to see Ricky get some more minutes. So I'm just kind of saying to Ethan's point. Ethan's saying you played a better player, but how do you know he's better than Ricky if Ricky don't get no minutes?
They'll know.
Well, we've seen.
They'll figure it out.
How about so far? We've seen.
Hold on. Now you trust Maury and them so much now?
We'll see. We've seen preseason and all that. We'll see.
We've seen him play against NBA caliber. We've seen him play against NBA caliber talent and put up and be decent and play solid. Ricky Council, Ricky Council ain't show out like he did.
Anytime Ricky Council got in, he balled. I don't remember one game he got significant minutes. He didn't do his thing. That's all I'm saying. And then G League, he dominated. He looked like he wasn't.
G League is not Olympic NBA type caliber.
Let me finish. He looked like he was better than it. He looked like he was too good to be in the G League. For real.
You know who else looked like that? Paul Reed, who was the MVP of the G League.
Paul Reed always looked like he was like still some giraffe. He never fully looked
like Wayne was hyping Paul Reed.
He was.
Man, my whole thing was give him a chance. Y'all was hyping what's his name?
Paul Reed had a lot of chances. So
I agree. So I'm not mad about Paul Reed, but all I'm saying is you see people in summer. If I'm going by watching a guy that played in the summer league or G League as opposed to a guy that I seen play on the Olympic stage. Where against NBA talent, the teams he played against had NBA players on here.
I'm not hating on it. I
thought Doc Rivers was holding Paul Reed back. Then I realized it was Paul Reed that was holding Paul Reed back.
Like, remember you was hype about Matisse Thybulle? You thought Doc was holding Matisse Thybulle back until he left?
Yeah, because everybody was saying that Doc, he knew what he was doing.
I can't. I got to take some accountability for Matisse Thybulle cheerleading too, because I thought he was going to go better.
Me and Wayne was trying to tell y'all.
Who was hype when he went to? Was it them that? It was them two, right? That was hype when he went to Portland. Like, see, let me see what he did.
It was mostly Tim, but I jumped on the bandwagon a little bit.
No, What's up? Go Ray say I think Doc killed Paul Reed. No, because he had a whole year to get their confidence back.
I don't think Paul Reed ever lost confidence because whenever he came in the game, Paul Reed ain't never looked like he was.
Yeah,
that's Paul Reed just looked like he just couldn't get like his IQ and his coordination wasn't right.
What I will say is,
Paul Reed to be successful, I think he needs to be on a young team and they all growing together.
So, like Ben Simmons said, he needed to be.
That's different.
I do think there might be some truth to that, Tim. I wouldn't discount that thought. I will say I think Paul Reed looked better under Nurse than he did under Doc. Because remember when Nick Nurse came in, he had to reshape Paul Reed's whole form. Remember he talked about that? His whole shooting motion. He said, throw that joint out and we're gonna build you up from scratch. And Paul Reed actually did look better to me under Nick Nurse than he did in the Doc. I will say that and go Ray's point.
I think it's about the same.
No, okay, of course you would. Of course you would.
I like the addition though.
But but moving forward, like coming in, because I think we got there's 3 teams in the Atlantic Division. It's pretty much Boston, Knicks, and the Sixers. Where do y'all have them ranked at this very moment? If the season started today, who do you have ranked number 1, 2, and 3?
Just how you said.
Boston number 1. They got to be Boston number 1. I'd say Boston, Sixers, Knicks.
Boston, Knicks, and Sixers.
So y'all got a difference. You still think
we didn't even finish. Is the roster for the Sixers set yet?
It's set.
We got that. He was the last roster spot.
I'm taking six. I'm with Wayne. I'm taking Sixers too.
We don't even have who's our backup point guard?
Maxey and Maxey.
No, our backup point guard is Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry is our backup point guard.
Who's gonna get 8 minutes a game? He's gonna get 8 to 10 minutes a game, and you jumping out your seat. First of all, if we would have had, if you would have kept the same, you bringing back some similar players, but you're getting some upgrades. If we would have had just Paul George instead of Tobias Harris last year, we probably been in the finals, in my opinion, or at least in the Eastern Conference Finals. So already you upgraded from Tobias to Paul George. That's the upgrade right there.
What would playoff P done?
Oh, he'd did better than playoff.
He would have scored 0 points like Tobias did.
Facts.
So we got Reggie Jackson. We signed him as a point guard, backup point guard. Then we also got and then we have Kyle Lowry.
Reggie gonna get
and the rookie young boy. They trying to get the rookie young boy to be more the playmaker point guard.
Oh, Jared.
Yeah.
Looking at that team, they don't put too much on him. Looking at that team, we did need that size with the ball. We needed that size.
Who?
I ain't putting too much on a young boy. All I'm saying is
Guerschon.
I think that's what they trying to get him to be more of a point guard instead of not still scoring still, but they trying to get him to learn how to run it.
They found that out.
Actually, he can shoot.
They found that out in summer league.
How they found it? How you gonna find? So you gonna say all these years that he been a shooter, he had a bad stretch in summer league. Now you say he can't shoot.
Who? Oh, Jared? I don't know, bro. How
about this? How about maybe he can't shoot as good
because
he's trying to.
Yep.
So where are these TikToks? I don't know what y'all stuff is.
And go do that.
I see more of him working out. I see more videos of him working out than all these TikToks y'all talking about. Y'all caught up on the fingernails and all that other stuff. But
no, he caught up on the fingernails.
Y'all are because y'all looking at that and it's making you.
Eric Gordon is 40. What are we talking about?
But that being said,
40.
It could be something to them trying to make the young boy play a little bit more, learn a different type of game, be more of a point guard facilitator type where it can take away when you're trying to learn to play a new way, it can take away.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this question.
Other things that you just
when have you seen a team put so many free agents together in one season and win something the next?
Boston.
Those are top tier. Those are top tier free agents. I'll tell you now. That wasn't. First of all,
Paul George not top tier free agent.
Hold on. We pretty much redid the whole team. You talk about 2 players. We redid the whole team.
No, they had 3 because
it was only 3 players that came back.
But that's what I'm saying. They had Rondo was a new addition to the team.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
I'm talking about as a starter. I don't think he plays. Did he play starter minutes?
Didn't they trade and get Rondo from Portland?
I
Portland drafted Rondo. Portland drafted Rondo. Was he a draft? Was he a trade day draft?
Let's look that up. What's up, Ziggy? What's up, John? Hey, Mr. Hood, I don't think he had a good preseason, by the way, or summer league, by the way.
We are bringing about 5 players back from last year. We bring in Embiid, Kyle Lowry, Max.
I only count Kyle Lowry because he was a half year transition.
You got B, Maxey, Oubre, Maxey, Oubre.
4 starters.
Ricky Council was on the team last year.
Come on,
Lowry was on the team last year. Why don't he? You talking about guys that been here and been playing in the system? But you're talking about guys that been here and played in the system. It's not like and that they've played with this team. Like it's not completely new guys.
It is.
You got Maxey, you got Oubre, you got Embiid,
KJ Martin,
you got Kyle Lowry, you got KJ. So you're bringing about 6 players back.
You redoing the whole team, and y'all think we gonna come in and win a division?
Rondo was drafted by the Phoenix Suns. I guess he was traded to Boston because his first year in Boston. He was always in Boston. He never played.
Right, it was like a draft day trade type thing, right?
Yeah.
I'm just glad we got the rebounder with.
He only started 25 games his first year. Then the next year, when they went to the championship, he started 77. So he wasn't a full factor in the year before. He became more of a factor with the
So Ethan, in your mind,
25 games. Who won't hear? Did KJ Martin start 25 games last year? No. Did Ricky Council start 25 games last year? No.
Could have.
So y'all
wait. What was Rondo first year?
It's like when Maxey did.
06, 07.
06, 07. I'm looking at here. They say he played 78 games. 06, 07. He only started.
No, I said he started.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we got to be real when you changing over this many people to come in next year to think you're going to be super successful is kind of.
But that's a huge starting lineup change. You talking about
you got 3 main players.
You got Ray Allen, you got Kevin Garnett, and Rondo. That's 3 major players in the starting lineup. Now, granted, these a lot of these all-time Ray Allen's all-time great, KG all-time great. I give you that, but it's still 3 starters who wasn't really starting. 2.5.
Well, let me ask you this about Boston. Hold up. How about Boston team last year? Who'd you bring in? You brought in Drew Holiday. You took Smart out. You brought in Holiday, and you brought in Porzingis, right? So wasn't that you had 3 year starters in there? You replaced 2 of your starters, right?
And they won a championship. That's true.
And had the best.
There was a couple other guys that they let go too.
But the whole core of the team was there. You
talking about Maxey, Oubre, and B? No,
even a bench. Even the bench was already.
And Ricky Council.
Who? The bench like who? Didn't they get rid of the bull? Who was the bull that Tim like Brian Grant or whatever his name Grant? They got rid of him.
But they still had the B stopper. They still had him there. They still had the bull Derek White. The base of their team was still there. The core.
I think you're talking semantics. It was only like a couple player difference.
Okay.
But you gotta look at the Knicks. The Knicks lost some players. They lost Hartenstein, and then they got to put in a new starter. And and
half the guys they bring it back, they only had half the season.
Listen, I'm just telling y'all what usually happens.
But then you got to say the same thing for the Knicks. I can see Boston. Boston is the
best
team.
Players. Even the Miami Heat, with the best players, still lost in their first year. Most teams lose in that first year. Yeah, they're gonna make a little noise, but
they lost that first year because Brown.
So you don't expect
they lost in the finals. They
still lost. The Clippers, didn't they lose in the first year?
That's not the same as saying somebody lost in the finals in their first year together. It's different from saying they lost in their first year together.
I agree with that. And they shouldn't have lost. Bron is the reason why they lost because he didn't do what he's supposed to do.
Yeah, because he didn't want to step on Wade's toes. But when Wade was like, this your team, and they got everything settled out.
Listen, but it's funny that now we making all these excuses. But we say something, we say that means something when we talk about the teams that the USA played. These teams have been playing together they've been playing together for years and this. Well, it's the Sixers. Oh, it's cool. We're gonna be cool. We can just throw these dudes in here. We're gonna be all right. Well, but then we talk about
Team USA won though, didn't they?
They'll have games together.
All right.
No, I'm not. Listen, I'm not saying the Sixers are better. I'm not saying the Sixers are better than Boston. Boston is the best team in the league right now. But what I am saying is you putting the Knicks over the Sixers. The Sixers and the Knicks were separated by like 1 point in that series. Total 1 points.
What we won? 1 game? When we won one game in that series?
No, we won 2. Didn't it win 6 games, right?
We should have won. We should have won 3. Remember, they cheated us out.
And the point differentiation for that series was 1 point. So every game was a tight game. When you talking about with an injured Embiid, and now they are bringing what's his name back, but they lost Hartenstein. You know what I'm saying? They made some changes too. So to say that the Sixers are worse off than the Knicks, I differ on that.
So is Oubre starting or is Guerschon starting?
Oubre starting at the 2. You got Maxey at the point, Oubre at the 2, what's his name at the 3, and Caleb Martin at the 4. That's going to be your starting.
Caleb Martin starting at the okay.
I think that's what you're starting. They brought Caleb Martin in here to start. You're not paying Caleb Martin that money without anticipate him coming in here to start.
I mean, Ethan, you do have a point, but you got to remember too, the NBA has a long season. It's 82 games. By 82 games, y'all are going to develop, at least by the halfway point, I think y'all can develop enough chemistry going into the playoffs where y'all can make some noise. So I'm not discounting. It is something in playing together and knowing each other. I thought that's why that Sixers team with Allen Iverson, the worst thing they could have did after they lost the finals was blow that team up because that team gelled over the course of time. And I've been on record saying that, so I'm not going to discredit what you're saying. But I do think with the level of talent that we have, as shown with the Olympics, when you do assemble talent can play with anybody. If you talented, because it was funny, I was listening to a podcast too, and maybe we could talk about this in a second. They was talking about who's up next, right, as regards to 2028 Olympic team. And they were saying that the older dudes didn't let the younger dudes really shine, so we ain't groom the next generation of players. And I'm like, I really don't agree with that. Devin Booker could score if he wants to. He decided to play a lesser role. Ant-Man could score if he wants to. He decided to play a little lesser role. These dudes can score. You know what I'm saying? But that don't mean that they don't also know how to fill a role when need be. Booker saw his role was to play defense, facilitate, lock down, loose balls, all that kind of stuff like that. Get his shot. He was playing almost like a six-man type role, even though he was starting. Come in, microwave, come in, hit, boom, hit the shot when I needed. But I say all that to say, I think Paul George, Maxey B, Caleb Martin, they could do the same thing when they play together. I think the same thing could happen.
All right, what's that?
See, my thing is, I'm not dismissing. I know Knicks fans are going to feel like, well, the Knicks beat the Sixers. They had a better record than the Sixers. We all understand that Embiid being injured had a lot to do with that. But I'm looking at, you got to look at why the Sixers lost to the Knicks. They lost to the Knicks because of offensive rebounding, because a lot of rebounding.
And we got cheated in game 3 or 2.
I ain't even gonna go on that part, but I'm gonna just say I agree with you, but I'm not gonna go on that part.
But
what I'm gonna say is
Harris, but go ahead.
No. But that's what I'm saying. The reasons that the Sixers lost, Tobias Harris, but then also because the Knicks out rebounded us greatly. The Sixers went and the Sixers got better at rebounding, where though the Knicks lost one of the main factors in why they was beating the Sixers, which was Hartenstein. Who did they replace Hartenstein with? Yeah, you're getting Julius Randle back, but what big are you getting back? And here the Sixers then brought in Andre Drummond, who now coming off the bench, you have a certifiable rebounding big coming in there. When the Embiid goes out, you have a legit big, a backup big coming in. So
I couldn't agree.
That's why I put the Sixers over the Knicks.
I can't wait till the season starts. It's going to be a very interesting season.
It is. Between that and us. Oh yeah, last podcast you had mentioned something. You asked me who was the GOAT, and I had said that it was LeBron James. I want to make a little correction.
We'll be coming back up. Talk to me. What's going on here?
I'm not saying that he's not the GOAT, but as far as my personal GOAT, and I felt I should have made this known. Dr. Julius Erving is always going to be my personal.
Oh, well, you're a little brain damaged, so we don't care about your personal goal. We talking about like as a best player, not your favorite player. Allen Iverson is my favorite player, but I ain't gonna say he's a GOAT.
Yeah, you ain't have to say that was my GOAT. Just say it's my favorite player. Yeah, my favorite player was Zeke, Isaiah Thomas. That ain't my GOAT.
Well, like Doc.
Zeke your favorite player over Brian?
Yeah, Isaiah Thomas. That's why I started watching basketball.
That don't mean that that's still your favorite player, because Yeah, you've been going on for Brown for some years now, man. Brown been in the league 20 years. You've been going strong for Brown for 20 years.
I ain't been going strong. I actually started liking Brown when he got traded to Miami. I mean, when he went and signed with Miami.
I remember when he was in Cleveland. I remember you was because I remember the
I
argument
like
you
it.
used to
Listen,
make.
you
used to make was you want to appreciate greatness because you didn't do it with Mike.
Yes, you do. That doesn't mean he's my favorite player. My favorite player of all time is Isaiah Thomas. Who's your favorite player? Joel Embiid.
I told you Isaiah Allen Iverson. I just said it. Allen Iverson was my favorite player of all time.
I thought Barkley was your favorite player of all time.
No, it's been Allen Iverson since I read like.
It was Barkley. Did you switch on Barkley because of the stuff you started saying?
Before Allen Iverson came in the league, yes, it was Barkley. Yes, it was Barkley. I like Barkley, Dominique Wilkins, and Shaq. Shaq has always been one of my top 3 favorite players ever. That still is.
If you're a young boy growing up in Philly, like, I remember like doing reports in school. In order for me to like do something I enjoyed, I had to do it on sports. Now that's when I read about Dr. J, and then I saw all the like he was like great. Like people love Doc. Like before it was Jordan, before it was Magic and all of them, it was Doc. Like
Doc, I agree.
If you look at it, he's like in 8th place to score. He scored 30,000 points. I mean,
yeah, but that was the problem was a lot of Doc stuff was. But I agree with you. Listen,
they
I had the Doc Converse. I had a Doc jersey. I remember going to my pop used to take me to the Sixers games all the time when they was giving out the free rubber basketballs and all that. I remember when Moses Malone had the ball. Talking about something, it's a real ball. I remember all that. Like you know what I'm saying? Like and Doc was that guy, but I appreciated Barkley and the way that he played. And when Allen Iverson came in the league, once Allen Iverson came in this league, that was my favorite player. I watched him at Georgetown when the Big East we had him, Ray Allen, and Kerry Kittles.
Ray Allen
Ray Allen, Ray Allen for Connecticut, Kerry Kittles for Villanova, and AI for Georgetown. The Big East was that back then.
So, I had a couple favorite players. My favorite player probably before anybody was probably C. Webb. Because I followed C. Webb through college. The Fab Five. Dudes, I watched them games over and over and over. Eli used to tape them. My older brother used to tape games. And I used to sit there and watch them Jones over and over, man. Jimmy King and all them boys. I love that team, man. I love watching that team. The documentary was fire. I wish Weber would have signed on to do the documentary. I'm still irritated he wasn't involved in the documentary, but the documentary was great. After Weber, it was Bubba Chuck. Bubba Chuck came, like I agree with Wayne. He took the city and the league by storm.
He took the city of Philadelphia. Everybody.
He was in college ball. Watching him in college ball was like, it was electric. When we got the number 1 overall pick, I lost my mind.
Yeah, I didn't. The crazy part is, I actually watched more Ray Allen and Allen Iverson in college. I understand. Ray Allen was hooping in Connecticut, bro.
And it was UConn. And UConn was one of them powerhouses that they showed everywhere.
Yes. Ray Allen was hooping. Big Dog was hooping around that time.
Big Dog. It was really
Big Dog. Purdue. Yup.
It was like that. It was Duke. It was Duke and North Carolina at that point. They was battling each other. And that's when, like, Rasheed Wallace.
That was the generic team. That was for the non-hoopers. Like
no. Like, Rasheed Wallace balling. Then after Rasheed came, the other 2 boys.
Yeah, Jameson. And you talking about Jameson Stackhouse?
I did.
No, it was Jameson and Stackhouse with North Carolina back in the day, and then they upgraded and brought in Sheed and what's his name?
Then they brought Vince Carter and
Vince and Jameson. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Vince and Jameson.
I did like Weber too. I remember listening to that because remember you couldn't really watch the Sixers draft. You have to listen to them. And when they drafted Sean Bradley, wasn't it Sean Bradley with Chris Webber? I was hurt.
It wasn't an option like that. What happened was
for some reason we had to listen. We had to listen to it.
C. Webb went number 1, and then Sean Bradley went number 2. And
You're right, but they traded him for Penny.
And then Orlando, Shaq wanted Penny, so Orlando traded, and that's how. We
should have traded Penny and made the trade.
We should have drafted Penny. We should have drafted Penny and made the C. Webb trade. That's what we should have.
It's 2 players that we didn't draft. Well, I mean, Tatum could go in that now. Tatum for Fultz, but before that, it was when we didn't get Paul. What's his name? Playoff Paul George.
Paul Pierce.
Not Paul George. Paul Pierce. We didn't get Paul Pierce. I just knew when I used to watch Kansas back then with him and Ralph LaFrance, and they used to ball over there in Kansas. They was hoopers. I just knew. I remember Kevin hit me up. My cousin was like, yo, who you think we gonna get? I was like, oh, we getting Paul Pierce. We in there. Paul Pierce and AI.
That would have put us over the top.
It was that pick, and the other pick was Penny Hardaway. When we got, I was like, Sean Bradley.
The thing that irritates me is I didn't watch much of Penny in college. I think I sent this clip to y'all. I didn't know how nasty he was. Everybody knew about Penny, but I didn't know how nasty he was in college. Penny in college was doing stuff boys are doing today back then. Like he was on some next level type hooping. So for us to be in the front office and draft Sean Bradley over that dude was egregious. Even if you traded Penny for Weber after you draft him, I still would have been fine with that because I love C. Webb as a player. But that was crazy. Like that just show you sometimes like what is these front offices doing? Like the stuff Penny was doing was unreal, man.
You know when I became a Penny fan? It was in college.
Oh yeah, Van Exel was that man.
It was like, you know how you just like back in the day, like on ESPN and everything, like you would see college games. Like that's when I was always watching college games. So it was like you just be flipping through and the game was on. And I don't even know who they was playing, but Penny Hardaway was going, and he was leaving from like the free throw line, going at the dunk, lost the ball in the air, regathered that joint like that, and just dunked on the ball trying to take the. And I was like, who is this? And from that point on, I was watching Memphis games anytime I got a chance to watch.
Yeah, I didn't, like I said, Bernard McCoy, I appreciate your super chat, but not your comment. He said MJ is the GOAT. Y'all prisoners of the moment. Brown would have not been able to play 20 years, and the old era players too young and game not as physical. I don't.
Didn't Kareem play 20 years?
Yep.
This is where I disagree with the game not as physical stuff. There were about, honestly, maybe a handful of teams at best that played that physical type basketball. Nobody else did. The whole West Coast didn't play no physical basketball. Portland and all them, they didn't play no physical. You had Indiana, you had, and this is in the Jordan era. Now we talking about after Detroit phased out, because Detroit was that team early on, but after Detroit phased out in the 90s and Jordan started winning, only teams really played that type of ball was the Knicks, the Pacers, and maybe Miami Heat. You could say played a little bit more physical, and that was pretty much about it. Like Cleveland wasn't playing that type of ball.
The Hornets played physical too.
The Sixers was.
You know what though?
You know about why Alonzo was there? It's about why Alonzo was there.
Yeah, I'm talking about Alonzo when he went to the Heat.
You had Lonzo and Larry Johnson. They was
physical. The Heat was definitely physical.
But when Alonzo went to the Heat though, like. But before
Lonzo at the Heat, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So what era are you talking about that Charlotte played that way when Alonzo was there, right?
No, and then y'all be forgetting about that Washington Bullets squad when they had like Howard Chaney and Weber. They had I think Rod Strickland was on. They had a deep team. Y'all forget about them of those Washington Bullets squads back in the day.
But Weber wasn't a physical. Weber wasn't a physical player like that.
Yes, he was. What are you talking about?
I'm talking about. When these players talk, when these dudes
got a whole commercial with Weber dunking on Barkley.
Wait. First of all, before these old heads, y'all got to get over this. Think about this: LeBron James was 8 pounds lighter than Karl Malone. So you talk about Karl Malone with a handle, can shoot and can pass. You're not going to tell me that Karl Malone was a physical beast. Brody and these dudes out there. Physically. So when you sit there and talk about LeBron James wouldn't have lasted with these more physical dudes and this, that, and other, LeBron James is a physical specimen. LeBron James takes care of his body. He's not out there smoking his cigars and drinking it up.
There's one LeBron James out there. That's it.
This what I'm saying. These all and listen, we all came up in that era. I know what Mike was, but what I'm saying is these guys that dismiss it, making like Brian this big soft dude. No, Brian is skilled with speed, can shoot, can dribble, can all these things. And he was the size of Karl Malone.
And he don't get hurt. And he don't get hurt.
And he don't get injured. Like, come on, bro. We got. You talking about us living in the moment? You got to get out of that moment. You got to see that these dudes are more athletic now. And
y'all, we talked about, but while we in the moment, right? Because I don't know, we got to get on this subject. Mm-hmm. Y'all ready to change subject? You want to talk about that a little bit more?
Why do we end up over? Tim raised a question, and then we kind of all went. Oh, he
because
talked
he said about you
the
asked him
GOAT.
about GOAT.
Yeah,
We was talking about the
right.
GOAT, and
Right.
they came on talking
All
about.
right, I'm ready. Yeah, I'm ready to switch because the GOAT is LeBron James. Let's make that clear. The GOAT.
All right. The topic that everybody talking about lately is Noah Lyles versus Tyreke Hill. Noah Lyles in a foot race versus Tyreke Hill. Tyreke Hill says he wants to do a 50-yard dash. Is it a violation to even challenge him to a 50-yard dash if you're trying to challenge him to a race? That's another question. But Noah Lyles versus Tyreke Hill in the foot race. Do y'all think Tyreke Hill can keep up?
First and foremost, I'll say this. The melanin was popping in Paris. They showed out in the Olympics. All right. I like to give a shout out, even the women, all them.
I ain't watching about women's gymnastics and basketball.
Okay. And they all showed out. The melanin was popping. I gotta tip my hat to all them girls. They did their thing, the guys did their thing. Yes, Tyreke Hill would stand a chance. I don't think you think he would get smoked. I don't think he in a 50-yard, you think a 50-yard dash, Tyreke getting smoked?
Wait, hold on. Why would if I'm Noah Lyles, why would I race you in a 50-yard dash?
Because this 50-yard dash is still a significant. I mean,
we run 100. If you want to race me, we run. If I'm a track star and you say you want to race me, we running 100.
Why you gotta run 100? So you better. Why do you need to run 100 though?
That's my rate. That's what we run.
Okay, so you can't.
So it shouldn't matter if you're a track star and you're that much better than them. It shouldn't matter then, right?
I agree.
That's like you saying I could beat. That's like you saying I could beat Mike Tyson but put one arm behind your back.
How?
Because now you got to handicap him. You handicapping him.
No, that's like saying
that's like saying instead of playing somebody for a whole game, you're gonna play him 1-on-1 to 12. That's all that's saying. So
you handicap. It's a handicap.
He said 50 yards. I think it's 50 yards. 50 yards.
And you saying no? Let's run to 50. Now you try and handicap. So
that should be easier for him, then, right?
Huh?
That should be easier for him, then, right?
Where's it at?
No, I'm built. He might not reach top speed till the 50 yards.
So then that means about 50 yards, then Tyreke Hill is better than him.
No, that means you run my 100.
Yes, it does. Since I'm trying to tell Ethan, Tyreke worked on explosion and getting point to point fast in a very short distance.
My point is, if you're coming to challenge me, you don't set the rules.
Tyreke is a track star.
You can't come challenge me to my sport and try to set the rules.
Okay,
that's not how it works.
What we not gonna act like is we not gonna act like Tyreke didn't run track. See, you're acting like Tyreke track is a foreign thing to Tyreke. He ran track. He was an athlete.
And how'd that work out?
What you say?
So did DK Metcalf. How'd that work out? He came in last when he tried running against some track.
How good was DK Metcalf in track?
I don't know.
Tyreke was one of the best players in his high school, one of the best runners in high school in track. I don't know where DK fell in that. It's levels to track. It's levels.
You know what a gold medal winner? You know when you win a gold medal, you know what that means? You are the best in the world, not the best person in your school. It's not the best person in the world.
Not necessarily.
Everybody to qualify. If you qualified to run the race,
some dudes that ran from the cops selling crack that might be faster than him.
You really think that he's going to come out here
just because a boy wasn't running on the track team don't mean he wasn't fast. That's like we know dudes, dudes that's hoopers that might have been in the hood that was early GOAT man ago. Everybody talking about how he ain't playing the NBA. So just because, like to the point that you was making, talking about how in the international game you got some guys that just ain't get that chance to play in the NBA, you might have some guys out there that's faster than them that just never worked on it and never went in there and put in that.
You still got trained. You still got trained for that.
All he can do is have some more babies and catch touchdowns.
Listen, my thing but y'all see, so y'all don't think it's no NFL player that is just fast naturally that if he trained maybe for 3 months. That he couldn't be on the level of a Noah Lyles?
No, not
you do know that in the NFL they used to. You know the NFL used to do stuff. You know the NFL used to do stuff like that, like go get dudes that was track stuff. Like Willie Gault was a track runner. Chicago went and got Willie Gault and just had him running out there.
But they don't pan out because it's a different training.
No, sometimes
it's different training.
Dudes go to a different field because they can make more money.
I agree with that.
If you think Tyreke Hill can beat Noah in 100, you lost your mind.
He didn't challenge him to 100. He challenged him to 50.
And no Lyles ain't running with no 50. Run 100.
All right, then run the 40. Then run the 40.
Then Quadro wasn't Quadro? What's his name? Wasn't Rocket? The Rocket Quadro Ishmael? How you say his name? Wasn't he a track star too? I think he ran track and all.
Then Willie Galt win the gold. Willie Galt won the gold. I think he won in track and then came and played in the NFL.
I think whatchamacallit, what's his name? The Dusty wide receiver boy from New York. Didn't he run track too in high school? I know his mom was a track star, but I think he ran track too. What's his name? The blonde hair boy.
Jared McCain.
Okay. I'm talking about the Giants, New York Giants wide receiver. What's his name? Odell. I think Odell ran. Rakeem Ishmael. Him and his brother, but the Ishmael brothers, I think, ran track. They was real fast like that. Trust me, it's track stars who are playing in the NFL who don't go to the track meets and all that kind of stuff like that because they have an NFL career.
They had that. Remember, hold on. Trust me. Track speed, but you dismissing world class speed with football speed. That Sixers. I mean, the Eagles had that dude Devin Allen. I think his name was. Remember 2 years ago, and he was faster than every wide receiver. They Sixers wide receiver. I mean, the Sixers. The Eagles receivers is like, yo, dude fast. Like it's a difference between football fast and world class athlete fast.
Listen, the NFL is world class athletes.
They not world class athletes.
The NFL is full of world. They just showed a video of like I think I sent it to the text board. It was a preseason game. I think it was the Texans versus somebody. One of they defensive tackles. This dude ran down a running back and the running back had like a 10-yard head start.
So you think that defensive tackle gonna run? He gonna run down no allows?
My point is these dudes are doing stuff that normal human beings aren't doing.
So track athletes.
I agree, but if you don't think that it's some NFL track stars playing in the NFL who could actually be an Olympian, you tripping. These dudes are world class athletes.
On a real quick search, you got Marquise Goodwin that played for the Browns, Willie Galt, James Jett that played for the Raiders, Robert Hayes. Like you got a bunch of dudes that was track stars that played in the NFL. Eric Metcalf, Rocket Ishmael.
Name me one of them that was a gold medalist that had one of the fastest times in 100 meters. Show me one.
Oh, or maybe they didn't focus on that.
You don't think Deion could have been a track star?
No.
What? So you don't think no NFL player ever could have been a track star? This is what we're saying.
What I'm saying is he might have been able to be a track star, but to think a 30-year-old Tyreke Hill is beating Noah Lyles in his prime, you got to be crazy.
Did Noah Lyles break? Okay, let me ask you this. I know he won the gold and he got smoked.
No, he didn't break no record. No.
Okay, I'm about to ask you. Did he break any record?
Then Noah Lyles might as well accept the challenge and get money. How about that then? Since it ain't no chance
he got endorsements and stuff. No. Hold on.
But if that's the case,
hold on. Will you do it? If you was Steph Curry and you was the three-point shooting contest, right? Champion, and somebody over comes, yeah, let's have a 3-point contest, but you can only shoot from half court. You taking that challenge? I could beat you. I could beat you.
You're not talking about no average Joe Schmo.
I could beat you, but you can only shoot from half court.
You're talking about one of the people that they're talking about as being one of the fastest human
beings. Then why is he handicapping Noah Lyles?
Didn't Noah Lyles do it then?
If you think you can beat me, why are you handicapping me? Then shut up. If you got to handicap me, don't
you
talk.
Saying it ain't even close? Which one of them is worth more money?
If you got to hit,
which one of them worth more money?
Why are we talking about money?
Because if I'm gonna do it for money. You ask me would I do it? Yes. If I'm Steph Curry, no. Steph Curry like $300 million. He don't need no money. But if I'm a track star who ain't making the same money as this big NFL star and everything else, I'll do it for some money for pay-per-view, and I'll take that money.
I could agree with Wayne on that because they said you only win $33,000 or something like that if you win a gold medal.
No,
they actually
stuff. He just signed a joint with Adidas. He good.
I'm not saying he's not good, but let's say it's almost like Mayweather. Mayweather would come just like Mayweather fought the boy whatchamacallit, the boy from the UFC. He fought it because why? It was a big check on the line.
Hold on, but what under who rules? Under who rules?
He fought under his rules.
Exactly.
But at the same time,
he did the cage, did he?
my point is.
So let me
listen. Hold on. Let me
go ahead.
He fought under his rules. You know why? Because Mayweather was the big ticket.
Yes.
If Tyreke challenged you, Tyreke is actually the big ticket. You think more people know Noah Lyles and Tyreke Hill? More people know Tyreke Hill is.
Noah Lyles is worth $5 million. He worth $5 million according to they say.
What does money have to do with stop? Why? First of all, throwing money.
Because we're talking about
throwing money into his whack. If I'm the best in the world at my class, right? Are you gonna handicap so somebody could beat you? Maybe, and then everybody could jump around.
But he shouldn't be because you talking like it's not even close.
That's stupid.
You're talking like it's not even close. So what he got to lose?
It's not close to 100. Race me in 100.
Ethan. First of all, all right, Ethan. It's not dumb to talk about money. Like the Joker said, if you're good at something, never do it for free. And I agree with that.
I'm talking about.
So it's not dumb. Let me finish. I know.
Because you're talking like it's not even close. If it's not even close, then he should say, "I'll run you in the rain. I'll race you in the rain, the sun, the snow, whatever."
Wayne, I hear you. Let me just talk. They should come to a happy medium. Maybe 100 yards, maybe 50 meters instead of 50 yards. They should come to an even comfort zone that they're both comfortable with. All right, but all I gotta say is, and I kind of agree with Wayne, if you're that confident that you're gonna smoke them in 100, then you should be able to smoke them in 50. Yeah, you should be able to get them in 50 if you're that confident about your speed. But let's say they take it to 75 yards. Let's say they take it to 100 yards. You say, I'll race the length of a football field. I think Tyreke can still do it, and I think Tyreek stands a chance in 100 yards.
At what point is it a matter of speed over endurance? Because maybe that's why he's saying the 50, because it ain't the 40. So it's still about that.
Tyreek said the 50 because he knew he can't beat him in 100.
So what's the difference? Endurance?
Yeah, I think it's endurance.
Okay, so then he might be saying I'm faster than you, but okay, now Lyles is a trained track star and he got him on endurance. But he's saying that I'm faster than you. If we going off of this quick, because for most part, when they measure people, they measure them on a 40.
Oh, I agree.
Measurement is the 40.
I agree. 100 yards is different than 100 meters. That's what I'm saying.
Way different.
Do 100 yard, a happy medium between the two. I think that'd be a happy medium between the two. You do 100 yards, 100-yard dash straight, and you see who.
Yeah, when you're testing for speed, you're talking about those like 40 and 50-yard dashes and stuff like that. Dash is for speed. The other stuff, it has an element of endurance in it. He's talking about being faster than him.
Yes. And if you think you're faster than me and I'm the best in the world, you're trying to challenge me, beat me at what I'm best at.
But if what you're best at is more of a test of endurance and speed, and the other one is just straight up speed.
Just be happy with being faster.
He said he's faster than him.
No,
I'm not mad at Tyreke.
Lyles never said anything. Tyreke
Lyles be running his mouth because he said the NFL ain't they call themselves world champs and they ain't beat the world.
Yeah.
He said the NFL and NBA. He said both.
Oh, he said NFL too.
I believe
he did say that. He did.
So that's what I'm saying. He be running his mouth. So you run your mouth.
He said he's faster than Usain Bolt. Like, come on, Tyreke.
Somebody said in the comment section earlier.
The contract. He said, sign a contract and lock in that 50-yard race. So that's what.
That's what Tyreke said.
So sign the contract, meaning do it for money. Like I said.
No, it's about no. I'm not doing it.
I'll say this: if you saying if he runs for a living and he's so good at the 100, you don't think in 2 months he can train to run a 50-yard dash and be faster than Tyreke in 50?
I'm not. First of all, I'm training to run more, so I'm not going to change my training up just to beat this one guy. And then hold on. Then I have a chance of messing my train up to win me more titles and even beat a world record. Why would I do that?
But honestly, how significant you think in a 100-yard dash? It's no real. I watched the 100. It's no real layoff. 100 meters. I mean, that's what I mean. The 100-meter dash is no real layoff. In the 200, it's a little bit of a layoff and a little bit of pacing.
You ain't never see Usain Bolt run. He always start off. Usain Bolt is always like in the last during the gun, but at the end, at everybody.
He ain't last. He probably the only unbeatable track star that I've seen.
He's gonna lose. I'm just watching the race of him when he was 16.
Yeah, he actually did the bull. Tyson Gay used to give him that business at first. Tyson Gay used to give him that work.
I'm talking about
like somebody said, Noah gonna say he got COVID if he lose. I ain't taking that man. That dude's a fraud and a big my hand. He pulled a was it Eric Gordon? Martin on the joint like my hamstring. Like I ain't trying.
You know he's not a fraud.
He took that loss and all.
He might talk too much, but he's not a fraud.
He got smoked in the 200. That's all I'm saying. He said he had COVID, which is possible. COVID's been going around, so I'm not going to discredit him.
100 meters and 100 yards ain't a whole lot. 100 meters is 109 yards, so it's not a whole lot. It's not a whole big difference. Buzella.
100 meters and 100. I thought it was a little more. Oh, okay. Yeah, they can run. So they can run 100 then. Let's do the 100. That's what I'm saying.
Tyreke didn't ask for the 100.
So 50, but that's what I'm saying. So 50 and 100. 50 and 100 is not extremely different. If you could run 100,
50 and 100 is different.
It's a little different.
But, it's a little different. But my thing is, if you're a track star, you should be able to run 50 faster than Tyreke runs 50. If you telling me you can't run 50 faster than Tyreke, then you're not as good as you saying you are. That's all I'm saying.
Because you train to hit your full speed at a certain meter.
So what you train for? This dude don't train at all for nothing.
Tyreke trains to hit his full speed from the gate.
Okay, so Tyreke is faster than him in burst.
This is why, I bet you will hawk Tyreke down.
But you're saying though, so you was just saying is Tyreke is trained to be faster than him in short burst then?
Yes.
Okay.
So you're saying no. So like I said, Tyreke
said he's faster than you. Tyreke said I'm faster than you. So in short burst, Tyreke is faster. That's what you said.
He'll be faster, but he'll hawk him down and he'll lose the 100.
So that's when we come into endurance. Like I said, are we talking endurance or are we talking about straight speed?
No, we talking about straight speed. Because once he hits his
measure straight speed, they talk about the 40-yard dash. That's the time everybody use for everything.
You're not listening. His top speed is faster than Tyreke's top speed. Tyreke has the quicker burst, but once he hits his top speed, he's going to pass Tyreke.
Truth be told, though, I don't even know if Tyreke got a quicker burst. You just saying that. I think Noah Lyles is fast from the jump. I don't think Tyreke.
Don't Noah Lyles train to get off the jump? Ain't he trained to get off the
jump? I think Noah Lyles.
They still don't hit their top speed to a certain mark.
I hear you with that, but I still
run low, then they get up to that top speed.
Football season starts in about 2 weeks, so if you don't do it for the next 2 weeks, he ain't gonna be able to do it till next year.
Yeah, that's true. But it'd be nice. It'd be nice. I'm telling you, stuff like I think more.
It'd be fun to see.
I think I agree. I think more athletes should do stuff like that. I think it's a dude I was watching on Instagram. He's like a shooting coach, black dude. I forget his name. He's nice. He be shooting, and people be on the page on the comment section. Oh, he's I think he could beat Steph Curry if he challenge Steph Curry and all this kind of. I think more athletes should do stuff like that. Just for one, you generate more cash flow. And you could just generate more interest in your sport. I think if Curry signed up with for a one-off 3-point contest with a boy like that, you know how many viewers would come in and watch something like that on a special, something like that. You know how many people would tune in to see Tyreke Hill and Noah Lyles, and maybe you get a couple people. Maybe you get because who was the other NFL player who was saying he was faster than Tyreke Hill? I forget who it was. It's a couple.
Somebody in the draft that's supposed to be real fast.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You could get maybe 4 NFL players and 4 track stars, and y'all put them up against each other. That'd be crazy. I would love to see something.
That's what I'm saying. If I know Lyles, I'll say, okay, put the money up there. Like you, all right, let's do it for some money. I do it for money.
Yeah, I think that'd be hot. I would like to see something like that. But
and like you said, since Noah Lyles is the track star. Then if that's the case, then we gonna put up money and do like how Mayweather say, like when you know, like Roy Jones Jr. You should say like, well, if I'm gonna fight you, I'm gonna take more of the purse because I'm the bigger draw.
And then you come to a happy medium on how far y'all gonna run. Whether it's gonna be 100, whether it's gonna be 50, 75, y'all come to a happy medium with y'all gonna run and then y'all run the race. And nobody cry after the fact and say, oh, I should have ran 100 or I should have ran 70. Just y'all come to a happy medium and y'all run. But real quick, what y'all think about? Do y'all like the fact that Nick Sirianni continues to stick with this no playing Jalen in the preseason thing, and he, gets his reps in the regular season? What y'all think about that?
I don't like that at all. Give him a little couple reps. I used to like how Andy used to do it. Give him a couple. What he used to give him, like 4, maybe 2 series or something. Like give him a couple series, man. Get him in that game speed. Don't just wait till regular season then you have full game speed. I don't think that's smart.
I think they're getting full game speed when they're practicing against the team.
You never know. You never get full game speed.
It is full game speed because they're going against the Ravens.
But it's not the same as when you're coming out on the field, you're running through the tunnel, you coming out to the crowd. It's all that's totally different. You playing under the lights.
They're full pads. They play.
It don't matter. It's still a different field.
They can actually work on stuff that they can actually use.
So hold on. Is it different than when you play at Bowhouse than when you play in leagues?
To tell them no, it ain't.
No, but it's the same thing. It's not like they're practicing against each other. I agree.
But that just feels like practice.
Practicing against the Eagles defense, I agree with that. But when they practice against other teams that whole week, they're
it just feel like practice. I think it just feel like practice.
I mean, and then when they do play those games, they're only playing like a series or two, and then they out. That's what they all doing. As long as they practice against opposite opposing teams throughout this camp, which they've been doing, I'm okay with them not playing in the regular season in the game and actually getting hurt and then messing up our whole season. I'll take this.
I'm kind of torn in between. I know Nick Sirianni sits back and relishes the fact that they went 5-0 last year, 8-0 the previous year, and neither year Jalen played in the preseason. So that's his go-to thing.
Yeah, we won last year.
While it's working, he can keep doing it. And who knows? It may catch on. You may have more NFL teams say, you know what? Like Ziggy said, or somebody said, or Boozilla said in the comment section, they got 17 games to work it out. So more NFL teams may turn that direction. I guess I come from an era like Ethan said, where we seen all our coaches. I've never not seen the starters take no reps in the preseason.
Yes,
this is the first time I've ever seen this.
I think only the offense do that too, because I think some defensive players starters take reps.
Okay, so maybe this is a new thing. Outside the box thinking, dare I say, that he may come up with that may take off. I don't know. As long as he's successful, as long as he keep winning, it's going to be all right. The minute we start off 0-3 or 1-3 or something like that, then all that's all. I'm telling you,
we start off 0-1,
and you also have to remember the defense has been playing like not the last game, but the game before last. Our starters.
I'm talking about Jalen. We talking about
so maybe that's why Jalen didn't have as good a year last year.
He went 10-1.
No. We're not talking about the team record. We're talking about him as a player. We're talking about him as a player.
Anything that happened the last games has nothing. If you start 10-1, if you're 10-1, then it has nothing to do with the preseason.
A team don't got nothing.
Wayne got a point. Wayne got a point.
A team's record is different from a player playing well. Just because a team is playing well, don't mean
they start off a little slow too last year.
Yeah.
He's the front runner for the MVP.
Hold up. First of all, remember when he started last season? The first thing Tim said, like, "Well, he ain't played the preseason, so he got to get his."
Jalen was the front runner.
You can't have it both ways, bro.
Yeah, he did say that for a minute.
No, I didn't.
You did say that.
I swore Swift had like a 200-yard game in one of them first couple games.
Let's pull it up. Can we get the breakdown on the season? Can we get a breakdown?
They said if Pat Mahomes is playing, ain't no way Jalen Hurts should be playing. Pat Mahomes out there playing the preseason, Jalen Hurts should be playing.
And guess what?
Ain't nobody better than him.
They lost Hollywood Brown in the preseason game. Planning.
Did Minnesota lose their quarterback? The Minnesota lose their quarterback in the preseason?
Young boy. He went down.
Their first round pick got hurt. That's what my son was telling me. I didn't see it for myself.
Because was he supposed to be their starter?
Yeah, he was supposed to be their starter.
Wasn't they also saying? Remember when they wasn't letting all those players play physical and get hits and stuff in the preseason, and then everybody was getting hurt during the regular season, and they was saying because they wasn't playing, so you could get hurt anyway, bro. Like that. Listen, I don't know. I would like to see what happened with it. Maybe did he start off good? Maybe he started off good because he was fresh and everybody else was already in the rhythm.
On November 21st, 2023, Jalen Hurts is your new leader to win the 2023 NFL MVP award via Bets MGM. He was the front runner up until November 21st.
Per who? Who was that? Who said that?
I said Bets MGM.
Who's Bets MGM?
Vegas. They said he played so well.
Yeah, so you're talking about that's who they was putting as the league. You talking about the odds? They made him the odds favorite.
He was the odds to win the MVP.
And that don't necessarily mean a boy playing
He was. They're not going to just make you the MVP just because they like you or you're the leader.
No, you do know that they make odds because they wanted people to bet a certain way. That's why Vegas always wins.
No, what happened was he became the leader. He was playing so well that up until November 21st, he was the front runner. And then all the wheels all fell off.
Maybe if he played the preseason, he'd have better.
Listen up. Thank y'all for watching. We appreciate the.
I want to put a game.
Hold up. Pull up the game log. Yeah.
I'm pulling up game logs. Let me see.
What are you talking about? I'm giving you what Vegas is saying. I'm giving
his first game. So the first game was Sunday against New England. What did it say?
He went 22 for 23, 66 completion percentage, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, an 89 quarterback rating. He got sacked 3 times,
he was playing well
yards. The second game, Minnesota, was 18 for 23, 78 completion percentage, 193 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Game 3, he was 23 for 37, 62 completion percentage, 277 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, at 71 quarterback rating. And game 4, let's go up to 4 games. He was 25 for 37, 67 completion percentage, 319 yards, 2 touchdowns, 112 quarterback rating. So that was pretty solid.
He started hitting his stride all the way up until he got up against the Jets, and he had a 59 quarterback rating.
Okay,
but
he was the MVP. The odds on favor up until that.
Oh yeah, because they said that around November. Because November he had 2 monster games with a 130 quarterback rating and a 135. Then,
like I said, as long as it works, it's good. If it don't work, if he starts off slow and we start off losing, then you're going to see people turn attention to why he's not playing the starters. So it's good while it's cooking.
From what you say, he had that. Hold on. First game, he was 22 for 33, 107 yards. New England.
170.
170, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay, and we didn't play that well. Remember, Gainwell was 14 for 54? And everybody's like, well, why Gainwell start? And I think that next game is when, what's the name, had that monster game.
Yeah,
the next game is when that was the Ravens.
But this my thing
is when Boy had the monster game.
No, it was New England, Minnesota, Tampa, Washington. That was the first 4 games.
Oh yeah, the first 4 games against trash.
Yeah, and didn't he have 200 something rushing yards against Minnesota?
Who you talking about?
Swift.
Oh, I'm just looking at Jalen Hurts stats. I don't know what.
No, you're looking at. Jalen played. He ain't played trash, but he played solid.
He was 18 for 23, almost 80 completion percentage, 193 yards, a touchdown.
Swift had 28 carries for 175 yards that game.
That's good work. That's what he's supposed to do.
That's that game. That game. Remember, we was behind, and Swift put us on his back, and he was gashing them. He was gashing Minnesota.
That next game against Tampa.
No, Jalen was killing them teams that ain't had no defense.
Yeah, Tampa busted down later in the year. He did 277 against Tampa.
Was the third game.
Tampa killed us on the playoffs last year.
His quarterback rating was 71 against Tampa. That was the worst in the first 4 games.
Yeah, DeAndre Swift. What you was calling him something different, Ethan?
I don't know what I called him.
Oh, all right.
Swift.
So we'll see. Like I said, it's I'm from old school.
All I know is I don't want to hear Tim with no complaints on saying, well, it's a new system. You can't expect the Jalen. Yeah. I don't want to hear none of those excuses because if you know you got new offensive coordinators and new systems, then this is where you should be getting your reps in.
That is true. So I don't want to hear none of that from you, Tim. I personally feel he should have been in there. So if he start off slow, I'm blaming that. If he don't, Nick Sirianni's on to something.
But I'm not mad at Nick. If it's been working for him, stick with what worked.
Like I said, he was the MVP. So.
Okay.
He was.
I got faith in Jalen. I trust Jalen. He's a hard worker.
Y'all.
I don't think most quarterbacks, honestly, I think Jalen outworks a lot of people. He's not what you call a natural arm talented quarterback. So I do think he has to outwork his opponents to get to the level he's on. And I think through his career, he's shown he's nothing but a worker. He like Maxey.
His legs got to be top notch because as soon as he have any kind of ailment with his legs, his numbers go down.
Well, that could be possible as well.
And he hasn't even been using his legs in his preseason. If y'all been watching him, he's been
And
he wasn't using his legs down the stretch of the last season either. And you see what the numbers look like.
This time he's able to check the ball. He's not leaving the pocket right away. He's actually checking down.
He ain't playing against them. You really
I heard at one point the defense was blitzing like every play. They know that's his Achilles heel. I'm talking about the Eagles defense.
They were purposely.
Tim like he ain't getting touched. Tim like he's sitting in the pocket in 7-on-7s.
All right, here we go. All right, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Shout out to everybody. Bootzilla, Mr. Hood, Ziggy Marley. Appreciate the love. Catch y'all next week.
Deuces.